Think about the death of the Hollywood budget.
Mm-hmm.
It is a wild reality to consider. Picture this.
Okay.
You are waiting for the bus. You are holding absolutely nothing but your phone.
Right.
And you are producing a 30-minute cinematic movie.
Which sounds completely impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
It is in full 4K. The dialogue is perfectly lip-synced.
Yeah.
And your total budget is $0.
It really does sound impossible. But it is happening right now.
Yeah.
I mean, people are actually bypassing the traditional studio system entirely.
Welcome to today's deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
We are looking at something truly fascinating today.
We really are.
It is a mobile guide from March 2026. It's by Max Han.
Right.
And it fundamentally changes everything about visual storytelling.
It does. And what is really brilliant about it is the access.
Mm-hmm.
It completely removes the financial barrier to entry.
Because historically, animation costs thousands of dollars per minute.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
now, the cost is just your time.
Today, we are exploring a specific 3-part mobile pipeline.
Yeah, the core stack.
Right. First, we are going to architect the story in ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Then we bring those static ideas to life with Grok AI.
And then the final step.
Right. Finally, we polish all the rough edges in CapCut.
It is just 3 free tools on your phone,
Yeah.
but it represents one massive paradigm shift for creators.
So let's unpack this step by step.
Let's do it.
We have to start with phase 1, architecting the story.
Right, because you simply can't shoot a movie without a rock-solid script.
It is the essential first step.
Absolutely.
We move from the grand promise of a mobile studio directly into the mind of the architect.
That is the perfect way to frame it.
Mm-hmm.
Before you even open a single video generation tool, you need that underlying architecture.
Because if you skip this, you just get a folder of random clips.
Exactly. They look totally disconnected. The narrative just goes nowhere.
The script gives the entire AI workflow its structural integrity.
Yes, exactly. And in this pipeline, ChatGPT acts as your master showrunner.
It wears a few different hats.
It really does. It serves 4 very distinct, vital roles.
Okay.
First, generating the overarching story.
Right.
Second, expanding the emotional details. Third, writing the visual image prompts.
And the fourth?
Fourth is crafting the dialogue and the motion prompts.
Let's pause on that very first step. Generating the story.
Sure.
The guide stresses asking for a multi-part story right up front.
Yeah, that is a huge point.
Why ask for multiple parts immediately?
Because it establishes a massive, cohesive world right from the jump.
Oh, I see.
It builds a full content calendar from just a single chat session.
That makes sense.
You feed ChatGPT a clear concept up front. You tell it you want 5 distinct chapters.
Right.
And suddenly every single part is ready to become its own standalone video episode.
That is serious efficiency.
It really is.
It keeps you from staring at a blank screen tomorrow.
Right. It makes the heavy lifting worth it. But step 2 is where the actual cinematic magic happens.
Expanding the emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to force the AI to expand that core story.
So you are asking ChatGPT to add more scenes?
Yes.
But more importantly, you are asking for deeper emotional moments.
This is where beginners always fail.
Really?
Yeah. A thin, simple script leads directly to a thin, boring video.
That makes total sense.
When you spend a few extra prompts demanding emotional depth, you give the AI stylistic direction. It makes the final output feel moody and cinematic instead of flat and robotic.
Right. The emotion dictates the pixels.
Exactly.
Then we move to step 3, generating the image prompts.
This is a crucial safety net for beginners.
How so?
You ask ChatGPT to basically act as your director of photography.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it has to write a highly detailed visual description for every single scene.
Like lighting and camera angles?
Lighting, camera angles, weather, everything.
And then we reach step 4.
The big one.
Yeah, this seems like the most critical piece. Generating the actual dialogue and motion prompts.
This requires a very specific dual output from the AI for every scene.
Dual output.
Right. You need the motion prompt first.
Okay.
This explicitly explains how the camera and the environment should move.
Give me an example of that.
Something like camera slowly pushes in.
While heavy dust particles drift across the darkened frame.
You've got it. It adds that necessary atmosphere.
Right.
And the second required output is the dialogue script.
What they actually say.
Exactly. This is what each character actually says out loud. You keep this dual output format open on your screen. It becomes your working master script.
It is like giving an architect not just the blueprints, but the exact brushstrokes for the painters?
That is a great analogy.
Beat. Though I will admit something vulnerable here.
Where's that?
I still wrestle with prompt drift myself when writing stories.
Oh, it happens to absolutely everyone who uses these tools.
It really does. For those who haven't experienced it, prompt drift is when AI slowly forgets your initial instructions over time.
The context window just gets overloaded.
Yeah, it gets incredibly frustrating.
It is a nightmare.
So I have a probing question about that.
Shoot.
How do we prevent the AI from completely forgetting what the main character looks like between scene 1 and scene 2?
It all comes down to forcing visual anchors.
Okay.
Asking ChatGPT for strong, consistent visual character prompts for every single scene is absolutely mandatory.
So you remind it every time?
Every single time. You have to bake their physical description into every prompt.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you end up with changing faces or totally different clothes.
Which ruins the video.
Completely. That breaks viewer immersion immediately.
Right. Strong visual anchors keep the AI from changing their faces.
Exactly. You can plug those precise descriptions into any image generator later.
Mm-hmm.
Or just use GPT's built-in image generator if you are on the free plan.
So we have essentially built an incredibly detailed character-locked script.
We have the blueprint.
But a text file doesn't entertain anyone.
No, it doesn't.
The hurdle now is visual execution.
Right.
Historically, that meant paying thousands of dollars for a rendering farm.
Yeah, a rendering farm being massive computer networks used to process complex video.
Right. We don't have access to servers like that. We just have a phone.
And this is where the massive March 2026 update to the Grok app completely changes the game.
Tell me about that.
Specifically the Animate Photo feature. This is the core trick of the entire pipeline.
Okay.
It takes your static mid-journey or GPT image and turns it into a fluid 6-second video.
And it has fully integrated lip sync built right in.
Yeah, it is wild.
Oh.
You access it by simply opening the Grok app on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You tap the Imagine tab at the bottom.
Right.
Then you tap the little photo icon and choose Animate Photo.
And just a quick note for you listening, if you don't see that button, go update or reinstall the app. You need that specific March 2026 version.
Right. Once you are in the interface, you import your static scene image.
Okay.
Then you write your prompt.
Using the master script.
Exactly. You are combining that motion prompt ChatGPT gave you earlier with your character's dialogue.
Mm.
You just type the exact spoken dialogue in quotation marks.
So the AI reads the text and maps it to the mouth.
Yeah, it does.
But there are some pretty severe constraints here, right?
Huge constraints. You must limit the generation to 2 dialogue exchanges per prompt.
2 exchanges.
That is the absolute maximum.
What happens if you do more?
If you feed it a massive block of text, the processing load gets too heavy.
Okay.
The AI loses coherence and characters just skip lines completely.
So how do we actually get past 6 seconds? 6 seconds is a neat trick, but it is not a television episode.
That is the ultimate secret sauce of 2026.
Which is?
The extend feature.
Okay.
After you generate that first flawless 6-second clip, you tap the 3 dots in the corner. You hit extend. Then you paste the next small chunk of your dialogue.
And you just generate it again.
Right. The clip seamlessly grows from 6 seconds to 12 seconds.
Wow.
It takes the last frame of the first clip and uses it as the starting point for the next.
So you just keep doing that.
You repeat that process. It goes to 18 seconds, then 24, then 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You stitch them together block by block.
It is like stacking Lego blocks of data.
Exactly.
2 sex islands. Whoa. Imagine scaling a single photo into a whole half-hour animated film.
It is a massive, unprecedented shift in solo production.
Yeah.
But there is a highly critical insight you must follow to make it work.
What is that?
It is the defining differentiator for creators in 2026. The guide calls it character parenting.
Character parenting.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean in practice?
In your Grok generation prompts, you always put the character's gender and rough age in parentheses right next to their name.
Right.
For example, you literally type Amina, open parenthesis, woman, comma, 30s, close parenthesis.
Why is that tiny detail so profoundly important?
Because we have to understand how these AI models are trained.
Right.
The latent space is heavily biased toward Western media.
Okay, latent space bias being AI models favoring certain types of training data.
Exactly. If you just type a non-Western name like Amina, the AI searches its database and gets confused.
Oh, I see.
It leads to default generic voices.
Mm-hmm.
Or worse, It creates entirely wrong facial expressions that erase ethnic features.
It basically loses its anchor and starts flipping voices during the extension process.
Exactly. Adding that simple demographic label acts as an anchor weight in the neural network.
Mm-hmm.
It stops the AI from drifting or messing up the cultural nuances.
It saves time.
Saves you hours of frustrating regeneration time.
Let me push back here a bit.
Sure.
The tech sounds amazing, but if I am stitching together these small 6-second clips, isn't the audio going to sound incredibly disjointed at the seams?
That is a fair concern.
Plus, what happens when the clip inevitably goes off script or hallucinates and the mouth just stops syncing?
Those are the exact right questions. Hallucinations being when the AI invents random incorrect details that break the scene.
Right.
It definitely happens.
Yeah.
The audio usually smooths out because Grok overlaps the audio frames slightly.
That's clever.
But when the visual completely breaks, you shouldn't just spam the regenerate button.
Why not?
That wastes your daily limits. First, you need to check the fundamental basics.
Like what?
Check that your character labels are actually present in the prompt.
Make sure you didn't accidentally delete the parentheses.
Right. That is usually the culprit.
Okay.
And second, make sure you haven't overloaded the context window.
Check the dialogue length.
Check if your dialogue snippet is too long.
Mm.
Over 90% of bad, hallucinated clips come from those two specific user errors.
Got it. Fix labels, cut dialogue short, then try generating it again.
That is the exact troubleshooting loop.
Okay.
Once the clip generates cleanly, you save it to your camera roll. Then you move to the very next scene in your script.
And just repeat.
You keep systematically repeating this until the full story is done.
And the guide mentions a massive time-saving trick here.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
What is it?
If two back-to-back scenes use the exact same setting and the same characters, just reuse the same starting image.
Oh, right.
Don't prompt a brand new one. It saves rendering time, and it keeps your visual style highly consistent across the episode.
Okay, let's take a breath.
Yeah.
We now have a camera roll completely full of extended 30-second video clips.
Mm-hmm.
But a crowded folder of clips isn't a movie. We need to cut the robotic fat.
And that brings us to the final crucial step.
We're going to take a quick break.
Right, stick around.
And we are back.
So before the break, we generated all our raw footage.
We did.
Now we are moving all those assets into CapCut. It is a totally free mobile video editor.
Right. You start a brand new project on your phone.
Okay.
You import all your saved clips from the camera roll.
Because you generated them in order, they usually drop into the timeline sequentially.
I want to clarify something for you listening.
Yeah.
The focus in this stage isn't fancy transitions. We aren't doing crazy MTV-style edits here.
No, the entire philosophy of this edit is purely about hiding the AI's technical flaws.
Okay.
You have to scrub through each clip very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
You are hunting for two specific immersion-breaking issues.
What exactly are we hunting for on that timeline?
First, dead spots where the character just freezes mid-scene.
Right.
This usually happens right around the mouth when the line of dialogue finishes early.
Okay.
Second, you are looking for moments where the video keeps running awkwardly after the intended emotion ends.
So you have to meticulously pinch and zoom on that timeline to trim those clips.
Exactly. You use CapCut's basic split and trim tools.
Mm-hmm.
You ruthlessly cut out those empty robotic moments.
Right.
You add a simple text title at the beginning of the project.
Mm.
And once the flow feels naturally human, you export the whole thing in 1080p.
Let's do a harsh reality check on the actual time and output here.
Okay.
How long does this entirely mobile process actually take?
Let's break down the basic math.
Sure.
If you have a script with 10 scenes, and you do 6 to 10 extensions for each of those scenes.
That is a lot of extension.
It is. But you end up with a solid 25 to 35-minute video.
That is literally a full television episode length.
It is. And the total actual production time for that,
Yeah.
it is sitting right around 2 to 3 hours.
Wow.
That is from writing the initial ChatGPT prompt all the way to the final exported video.
I have to say, 2 to 3 hours sounds incredibly fast for 30 minutes of pristine animation.
It does.
But I want to point out to you listening, this requires serious, hyper-focused work. It isn't just a push a button and take a nap kind of magic trick.
No, it is not.
If you are thinking trimming microseconds of dead air on a tiny phone screen sounds like a nightmare, you are not entirely wrong.
Right.
It is meticulous.
It is highly meticulous. You are actively directing the AI.
Mm-hmm.
You are extending clips block by block. You are constantly troubleshooting broken prompts. You are trimming single frames. It is real demanding creative work.
It is just a totally different kind of work than traditional animating.
Exactly.
But I have to ask,
I-
are those tiny dead spots or frozen mouths really that big of a deal for the final viewer?
yes.
Can't we just leave them in to save an hour of editing?
They are a massive deal. We are dealing with the uncanny valley here.
Right.
Leaving even a single second of a frozen, lifeless AI face instantly shatters the viewer's psychological immersion.
It just feels wrong.
It deeply unsettles the human brain. It will completely ruin your audience retention. People will click away immediately.
Yeah, dead air shatters the illusion. Trimming hides the robotic awkwardness completely.
That meticulousness is the exact barrier that separates professional-looking storytelling from the vast sea of lazy, low-effort AI spam online.
Mm-hmm.
Trimming isn't optional. It is essential.
So looking at the big picture, who is this mobile pipeline actually built for?
It is heavily optimized for a few specific types of creators.
Okay.
It is absolutely perfect for faceless YouTube creators.
Right?
People who want to publish long-form stories consistently without ever putting their real face on camera.
The guide also explicitly mentions cultural storytellers.
Yes, this is profound.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to produce localized drama, rich historical folklore, or deeply serialized fiction,
Yeah.
this workflow is exactly what you've been waiting for. And it is built entirely for beginners with absolutely zero budget.
Because every single tool in this impressive stack is entirely free.
Right. And remember that multi-part story format we forced ChatGPT to write in step 1.
Yeah, the calendar.
That builds natural subscriber retention. Each episode ends with a scripted cliffhanger.
Oh, that's smart.
The next part is already written on your phone. The audience has a compelling reason to return tomorrow.
Let's synthesize the core takeaway from all of this. 2-sec silence. The historical financial barrier to cinematic storytelling has effectively vanished.
It really has evaporated overnight.
By intentionally stacking ChatGPT, Grok's new update, and CapCut together, an entire world-class animation studio now fits quietly in your pocket.
It is amazing.
For $0, you just build the world scene by scene, extension by extension.
It is a profound tectonic shift in media.
Yeah.
The technical tools are no longer the obstacle keeping you from creating.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you actually need to bring to the table now is a story that is actually worth telling.
That is a really beautiful way to frame it. Neat. It makes you wonder.
About what?
If the financial cost of rendering breathtaking animation is now completely zero,
Yeah.
will the value of deeply human, unique cultural folklore actually skyrocket?
I believe so.
Right.
When the execution becomes free and effortless, genuine human originality becomes absolutely priceless.
Exactly. So what deeply personal story have you been holding back because you thought you couldn't afford to tell it? 2-sec silence.
That is the real question.
The next time you are just waiting for the bus, remember.
You have a massive Hollywood studio sitting right there in your pocket.
Thank you for exploring this wild new frontier with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining the deep dive. We will see you next time.